Welcome back, everyone, to the session presented by the Honda Element here in Vail, Colorado. Our first event up is the rail competition.
Under the jam session format, each rider is given a period of 2 hours total to ride the 3 rails. The most consistent rider on the night on each rail will be awarded $10,000. Although it is possible for one rider to win all 3 rails, it will be tough. One woman will be awarded as the best overall rider on all 3 rails. What also makes it difficult is that none of the riders have been able to practice on any of the rails before the competition. Before we get into it, let's take a look at what the judges will be looking for.
Snowboarding is a very unique sport. It's almost kind of an anti-competitive sport because the riders really feed off the positive energy of each other. So the most rider-friendly formats are formats that don't emphasize the competition, but emphasize the camaraderie, the specialness of just riding together and hitting features and doing the best you can and building on the energy from each other. There's going to be a lot of different strategies, especially in the rail session, because they're going to have 3 rails lined up here, 1, 2, and 3. They have 2 hours to kind of figure out what's going on with all those 3. So I envision a kind of a sorting out time period for a while, but I think what'll happen is the riders will focus in on one that they really, really like and really shine on that rail. The person that impresses the judges the most for their time on the rail will be declared the winner. Each one of the rails has been selected based on kind of a historical overview a little bit of where the rails have progressed too.
There is a staircase rail that mimics a street style setup where riders can slide the rail or slide the box or attempt to transfer over the staircase.
This obstacle is definitely the biggest as far as sheer weight goes. I think this one will probably weigh close to a ton. It's 40 feet long and it's probably going to take us a total of 5 days completion.
The next one is a table kink rail, which is more of a park style rail, but it's a very technical rail.
The tabletop kink is approximately 55 feet long. It's, if I'm not mistaken, one of the nation's largest handrails.
The third rail is called the Expo. It's kind of a crossover from a wooden log and a swing set.
The inspiration for that rail actually came from a swing set in Minturn. A few of my friends had gone out and done some video on it and shot some stills, and it was really fun to ride, and we thought it would make a good contest rail.
And it absolutely did. The guys from BCS Metalworks put together a metal melee for the snowboarders, and it was going to be interesting to see which rails the snowboarders would choose to get things started off with. On the ledge section over on the stairs, it was Chad Otterstrom.
Warming up with what's simple to him, a 50-50 to board slide. He was the first one to hit that rail, and then TJ Schneider steps in and does a gap to board slide, putting some pressure on the other athletes, but this is just warming up.
And another rider to get started on the ledge, Dorian Laybourne.
Board slide to 180 out. Simple, easy move for Doran.
And Chad Otterstrom seemed to get the ledge section so dialed early on.
Hey, but don't forget about the ladies. We've got women here like Jana Mayan, 50-50ing the whole thing. Jana exudes style on the rails. And don't forget Mark-Frank Montoya. I'm gonna do a backside 270 to warm up.
Montoya's skate influence riding, keeping the fans warm here in Vail. And on the Expo rail, Rob Bach, one of the few riders that actually rode that mid-turn rail, which influenced this rail.
Well, speed seemed to be a little bit more of an issue on the Expo rail. Max Hinault was the first to get his speed down and clear the whole thing. We've got the talent of Marnie Yamada also able to clear the whole thing. Usually a big air rider, but she's transferred over into the rails. And all Brent Meyer had to do was drive down the street from Copper Mountain to board slide the Expo rail.
But it was a 3-ring circus in the rail session, and the undisputed king of all rails was the kink rail. Sean White started it off, trying to stay on 50-50.
Comments from the riders were like, that looks like something I would see in a video game. And it does. Step down, and it's knocking riders down right and left like Matt Peterson right there.
And Josh Melee, you could tell he looked comfortable, but he was still acclimating early on to the kink section.
Well, he didn't have to acclimate too far because him and Stephen Laterra are from Vail, Colorado. Stephen actually designed the rails.
And these judges had their work cut out for them. Judging rails, very difficult. It's a very young aspect of snowboarding.
Snowboarding's roots pretty much had its genesis, with like Tom Sims and Jake, who are pretty much surfers. So, what they try to do is kind of get that surfing sensation on the snow. In the mid-'80s, though, there was a whole new set that came involved, and that was all the skateboarders. The skateboarders came from an urban environment, kids that really didn't have a ski culture. So this whole skate and destroy thing kind of put a little bit of the resorts on edge for a while. That started to fade a little bit with the advent of border cross races, super pipe types of things. Now there's been kind of resurgence, and I think what's happening, border cross has kind of faded out a lot. The pipe game is almost a pure coached game now. What's left for really creative snowboarders is slopestyle and rails.
We'll be back with more rail action from the session presented by the Honda Element.